Have you ever felt that the child who once held your hand, who once looked up to you with admiration, now seems to have forgotten the respect you deserved? It can be a quiet ache in the heart when adult children speak harshly, ignore advice, or treat parents as if they no longer matter. Many older adults carry this pain in silence, wondering, what did I do wrong? Why has my child changed? This video will gently open that conversation, because behind the loss of respect, there are reasons that can be understood and solutions that can be found. Respect between parents and children does not disappear overnight. It is like a plant that slowly loses its leaves when it is not watered. But just as plants can bloom again with care, relationships too can grow strong again with the right approach. In the next minutes, we will walk together through the possible causes, the hidden mistakes, the warning signs, and the proven ways to rebuild harmony. We will hear inspiring stories of parents who regained their children's respect, and we will end with reflection and encouragement for your own journey. So, take a deep breath. Let this time be a gift for yourself, because understanding these patterns can bring peace not only to the heart, but also to health and family life. And perhaps, by the end of this video, you may see a new light of hope because respect is not lost forever. It is waiting to be nurtured again. Respect between parents and their grown children can fade slowly, almost without notice. At first, it may begin with small disagreements, a raised voice, or a dismissive gesture. Over time, these moments pile up, and the bond of respect weakens. According to psychological studies, this often happens when communication patterns change but are not repaired. Children grow into adults, with their own opinions, lifestyles, and pressures. Sometimes they forget that their parents still need dignity, just as they once gave it to them. Medical research also shows that aging can bring changes in memory, speed of response, or physical strength. These changes may lead some children to unconsciously see their parents as less capable. It is not meant as cruelty, but it can feel painful. For example, Mrs. Lena, a 68-year-old mother, shared that her son often interrupted her stories by saying, "Mom, you already told me that." To her, those words felt like being silenced, even though she was only trying to connect. Financial and social pressures add another layer. Adult children may struggle with jobs, raising their own families, or money issues. Stress can make them less patient, and respect is sometimes lost in the rush of daily life. The parent, meanwhile, feels neglected, invisible, or unwanted. But it is important to remember, fading respect does not mean love has vanished. Often, it signals unmet needs, both emotional and practical. And once these needs are understood, there is room for healing. The next step is to look at the hidden mistakes that sometimes make the situation worse, without parents even realizing it. Sometimes, respect fades not only because of children's behavior, but also because of hidden mistakes parents may not realize. These are not intentional, but they can slowly create distance. Research in family psychology shows that communication between generations often carries unspoken habits that may be misunderstood. One common mistake is repeating criticism in daily conversations. For example, a father who often says, "You should not spend money like that," may think he is protecting his child. But the grown child may hear it as a lack of trust or constant judgment. Another hidden mistake is holding on too tightly. Parents who call too often or try to control every decision may unknowingly make their children feel suffocated. This is especially true as children build their own families. Medical studies also highlight how stress and loneliness in older adults can lead to negative speech patterns. A tired or isolated parent may speak with irritation, without meaning harm. For instance, Mrs. Rina, age 72, often scolded her daughter for not visiting enough. She believed she was expressing love, but her daughter felt only guilt, and over time, visits became even less frequent. It is also easy for parents to underestimate their children's struggles. When adult children feel their challenges are dismissed, respect can weaken. A small change in tone, listening with patience instead of correcting, can make a big difference. The good news is that mistakes do not define the whole relationship. Awareness is the first step to repair. By gently adjusting words and actions, parents can invite respect back into the family. Next, let us look at the warning signs that show when disrespect is becoming a serious concern. Disrespect does not always come suddenly. Often, there are small signals that slowly grow stronger. According to studies in gerontology and family dynamics, ignoring these early signs may lead to deep emotional pain and even health problems for older parents. One warning sign is avoidance. If children rarely call, delay visiting, or seem uneasy during conversations, it may signal that respect and connection are weakening. Another sign is dismissive responses, such as rolling eyes, raising voices, or cutting short a discussion. Over time, these patterns can damage the bond between parent and child. There are also financial warning signs. Some adult children may show disrespect by misusing money entrusted to them, or by demanding financial support without gratitude. Social research highlights that financial pressure is one of the leading causes of tension between generations. Physical health can also reveal clues. Stress from repeated disrespect may lead to poor sleep, headaches, or increased blood pressure. A study published in the Journal of Aging and Health found that seniors who feel disrespected by family members are more likely to experience anxiety and depression. Consider the story of Mr. Hazen, age 70. He noticed his son often ignored his advice, interrupted him during meals, and rarely asked about his health. At first, Mr. Hazen dismissed it as just stress from work. But as months passed, the distance grew wider. Recognizing the signs earlier could have helped him take steps before the relationship weakened further. Noticing these signals is not about blaming, but about opening the door to healing. The sooner they are recognized, the easier it becomes to rebuild respect and closeness. Disrespect from adult children is not only painful emotionally, but it can also have measurable effects on health. According to research in geriatric psychology, persistent stress and emotional neglect can accelerate physical decline in older adults. Stress hormones such as cortisol may remain elevated, leading to fatigue, weakened immunity, and higher risks of heart disease. Emotionally, the impact can be even heavier. Seniors who feel dismissed or unvalued often experience loneliness, sadness, and loss of purpose. A study from the National Institute on Aging reported that older adults who perceive disrespect from family members are nearly twice as likely to develop symptoms of depression compared to those who feel supported and appreciated. Another medical concern is cognitive health. Chronic emotional stress has been linked to memory decline and difficulty focusing. This means that the pain of not being respected is not just in the heart, but may also affect the brain. It can make daily tasks harder and independence more difficult to maintain. Let us reflect on a simple example. Mrs. Lena, age 68, was once very active in her community, but when her children began to ignore her advice and often criticized her choices, she slowly withdrew. She reported frequent headaches, trouble sleeping, and a loss of appetite. Doctors later found her blood pressure had risen, caused partly by emotional stress. Her case reminds us that emotional wounds can become physical ones if left unattended. Respect is more than a social value, it is a form of medicine for the soul and body. When seniors feel honored, their health and spirit flourish. When they feel ignored, both body and mind may suffer. Sometimes disrespect from adult children does not appear suddenly. It grows slowly, often influenced by small habits in daily life. These habits may seem harmless at first, but over time, they weaken the bond between parents and children. One common habit is constant criticism. For example, if a parent often points out mistakes in the way children manage their household, career, or parenting style, the adult child may begin to feel judged rather than supported. Over time, this can turn into irritation and disrespect. Another habit is giving advice without being asked. Many seniors share wisdom out of love, but when it is repeated too often, children may feel their independence is being taken away. This misunderstanding can create distance instead of closeness. There are also financial patterns that may add tension. For instance, when children feel pressured to provide money, or when parents demand without considering their children's struggles, respect can erode. In some families, this turns into arguments that leave wounds on both sides. Let us imagine Mr. Booty, age 70. He loves his children deeply but often compares them to relatives who seem more successful. "Look at your cousin, he already bought a new house," he would say. Though meant as encouragement, his words made his children feel belittled. Slowly, they avoided visiting, and conversations became shorter and colder. This reminds us that respect is built on small actions every day. Choosing kind words, listening more than judging, and offering advice with sensitivity can protect the bond between generations. By being mindful of daily habits, seniors can invite more warmth and honor into their family relationships. There are moments when disrespect is no longer just a small misunderstanding, but a sign of deeper problems in the family relationship. These warning signs are important to recognize early, so that solutions can be found before the bond becomes too weak. One clear sign is avoidance. When adult children rarely call, visit, or even reply to messages, it may indicate not only busyness but also an emotional gap. Silence can be louder than words. It often shows there are unspoken feelings of disappointment or hurt. Another warning sign is harsh language. If children frequently use rude or dismissive words, or show anger when interacting with their parents, this can mean respect has already been damaged. Studies in family psychology have shown that repeated negative communication is one of the strongest predictors of relationship breakdown. Financial disputes can also be a red flag. When conversations about money often end in arguments, resentment can grow quickly. For example, a parent might ask for support, but the child feels pressured or judged for not giving enough. Such tension can silently erode trust and affection. Consider the story of Mrs. Sari, 68 years old. Her son used to visit every weekend, but after constant disagreements about money, he stopped coming. Weeks turned into months. Phone calls were unanswered. What began as simple tension grew into almost complete silence. This shows how quickly a relationship can deteriorate when warning signs are ignored. Recognizing these signals is not about blaming anyone. It is about becoming aware so that action can be taken, whether through honest conversation, seeking family counseling, or simply slowing down and listening with more compassion. Rebuilding respect with adult children may feel like climbing a steep hill, but it is never impossible. With patience, kindness, and consistency, small steps can open the way toward healing. Respect is not demanded, it is cultivated, day by day. The first practical tip is active listening. Often, children want to be heard, not just instructed. When they share their thoughts, try to listen fully, without rushing to respond. A simple nod, a gentle "I understand," can calm a tense moment more than a long lecture. The second is using calm words. Disagreements will happen, but how they are expressed matters most. Studies in communication show that people remember tone more than words. Speaking with a steady, soft voice can lower defensiveness and open space for dialogue. The third is setting clear but gentle boundaries. Parents still have the right to express their needs. For instance, saying, "I feel hurt when you raise your voice," is healthier than saying, "You are always disrespectful." This shifts the focus from blame to sharing feelings. Simple gestures also rebuild bonds. Cooking a favorite dish, sharing old family photos, or recalling happy memories together can remind children of the love that has always been there. According to research in family therapy, positive shared experiences create strong emotional repair. Think of it like tending a garden. Flowers will not bloom overnight. They need regular watering, sunlight, and care. In the same way, respect grows slowly when kindness is shown consistently. Rebuilding may not erase the past, but it can create a more peaceful today and a hopeful tomorrow. The effort, no matter how small, is never wasted. To bring these lessons to life, let us listen to a story. This story is based on real experiences that many families share, though the names have been changed for privacy. Maria, a 68-year-old grandmother, once felt invisible in her own home. Her adult son often dismissed her advice, sometimes raising his voice, sometimes ignoring her presence. She described feeling like a shadow in the corner. The pain was heavy, and she feared she had lost her son's respect forever. Instead of withdrawing, Maria chose a new path. She began practicing calm communication. She listened more and argued less. She told her son, with a gentle tone, "I want us to speak to each other with kindness. I know we both feel stressed sometimes, but I believe we can do better." At first, her son gave no response. But Maria stayed consistent. One evening, Maria cooked her son's favorite meal, chicken soup from his childhood. She set the table with care. As they ate, she shared a memory of when he was young, running in the garden, full of laughter. For the first time in years, her son smiled with warmth. Slowly, the wall between them began to soften. It took months, not days. But respect started to return, not because Maria demanded it, but because she nurtured it. According to research in family psychology, patience and consistent love can repair even fragile bonds. Maria's story reminds us all, healing is possible. Respect can be rebuilt. And love, though sometimes buried, never truly disappears. It waits, like a seed under the soil, ready to grow again when given care. As we come to the end of this journey together, let us take a quiet moment to reflect. Respect and kindness in a family are not built in a single day. They grow slowly, like the roots of a tree, becoming stronger with time. Even when storms come, a tree with deep roots will stand tall. In the same way, relationships built on love and patience can endure many trials. Think for a moment. How do the people in your home feel when you speak? Do they feel safe, or do they feel small? And how do you feel when words are thrown carelessly? These questions may not be easy, but asking them can be the first step toward healing. For seniors, remember this truth: your voice still matters. Your wisdom, your laughter, your stories, they are treasures for your family. Never believe that age makes you less valuable. In fact, according to studies on aging, elders who share their life lessons give their families strength, identity, and direction. You are a living library of experience, and your presence shapes the generations after you. For families who care for elders, let each interaction be guided by respect. A gentle tone, a smile, a patient ear. These small acts may seem simple, but they carry immense power. They say, "You are loved, you belong, you matter." As we close, let this message remain in your heart. Every family can choose respect over anger, patience over conflict, and love over silence. It may not be easy, but it is always worth it. Until we meet again in the next video. Stay healthy, stay spirited. Warm regards. For a happier and more meaningful life for seniors.